Hey guys, it's been a while. I've played some great games this year, some new favorites, some old favorites, and some new versions of old favorites. But most importantly, while I was away, I had the privilege of connecting with a few indie game developers who are working on some awesome projects, and I'm excited to share those with you today. You can find links to all of these games' Steam pages in the description, so be sure to check them out, wishlist them, download the demos, and show some love to these awesome creators. First up is Plentiful by solo developer Obey Vermeil. Now before we get into Plentiful, let me just give you an idea of how impressive Vermeil's resume is. He worked at Rockstar during some of their most formative years, contributing to many of their best games like Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and 4, just to name a few. Yeah, this guy's a freaking legend. After GTA 4, he decided the company got a little too big for his tastes, and now he spends his time working on his own projects, which brings us back to Plentiful. Yeah, bravo, dude. Vermeil describes Plentiful as a chilled god game. Inspired by classics like Populous, he wanted to revive the once popular god game genre with a modern touch. I don't have a lot of experience with god games, and I gotta say I was intimidated by the screenshots. The large hex grid map threw me off. But once I saw the game in action, I was mesmerized. It is indeed a very chill game that invites you in with some simple mechanics and keeps you hooked with escalating challenges. Basically, the whole world is made up of many hexagonal blocks. Hexagonal? Hexagonal. Every block can be freely moved, and there are different types of blocks like soil and stone. However, moving blocks takes up resources. Furthermore, resources may be spent on things like crops and animals that are needed to feed your people. Oh yeah, people. The point is generally to keep your people alive and multiplying. To do this, you need to craft the world around them in a way that is sustainable to life. Throw in things like predators and natural disasters, and suddenly this becomes harder than you think, especially when you use your resources unwisely. On top of all this, each level presents its own objectives. The first couple of levels show you the basics through tutorials, and then the difficulty steadily progresses from there. I kept letting my people die and it felt terrible. The babies were always the first to go. I had to restart a couple of levels and try again. Right now I'm still trying to get through the last couple levels of the demo. I'm not a very smart person, but I'm really enjoying my time so far, and I'm very much looking forward to the full release. Plentiful has a tentative release date in January of next year, but you can play the demo right now for free. Check it out. Yokai Tales is described as a hand-drawn creature collector roguelite by solo game dev and tattoo artist Vincent Penning. Penning explains that the game is inspired by retro JRPGs featuring a map system similar to FTL and Slay the Spire, but with a battle system similar to classics like Pokemon, Final Fantasy, and Dragon Quest. I was immediately drawn to this game by its art alone. It has a real classic cartoon vibe with some cool looking creatures inspired by Japanese folklore. You play as 3 shape-shifting Tanuki brothers who are trying to save the world from a portal that's opened up in the sky. The portal is apparently spewing out monsters. You'll have to battle wave after wave of monsters and take down powerful bosses at the end of each area. Along the way, you'll find special events, treasure chests, and healing shrines. You can plot your course and backtrack along the map as you'd like, but you only have a limited number of turns to make it to the boss before you get swallowed up by the mist that's rising from the bottom of the map. The UI seemed a little rough as I was playing the tutorial, but once you get going, you just appreciate the design of the game as well as the intricacies of the gameplay, which I'm still learning, such as character strengths and weaknesses, which party members work well together, what skills to give to my characters, and so on. As you progress through the game, you'll unlock more and more monster forms for your Tanukis to take, and I'm far from completing the game, but I'm finding a lot to love about it. Yokai Tales is available now on Steam. I was actually offered a free copy of the game, but I turned it down since I haven't been making any content for a while. I decided to buy a copy anyway though, since it's only around $6, and I don't regret it. Support indie devs, guys. I also wanted to mention this game's developer is apparently super productive. Just earlier this year, he released another game called Super Roll Boy, which is a 2D Metroidvania, and he's also currently working on a new top-down Halloween-themed action RPG called Grumpy Jack, which has a demo out now. Soldier Part 1 is described as a story-driven, turn-based tactical RPG with over 30 levels and a no-grinding progression system. I may be wrong, but I think there's only a couple people making this game. This is a turn-based tactical RPG with a lot going for it. First of all, the characters are adorable. The whole aesthetic of the game is really simple, clean, colorful, and pleasing to look at. The environments are varied along with the level design, which we'll get into in a moment. The story starts out pretty simply. You play as a character who wakes up in a strange place. You have no idea where you are or even who you are, as it seems you have amnesia. Suddenly, you're attacked by armed forces and an unknown ally quickly comes to aid you. Like I said, it's a fairly simple story with common tropes, but it works. I haven't seen the end of the game yet, and the entire game will be released as 2 parts in the future. Your main character is sort of an all-around balanced attacker with a spread shot special move. You're quickly joined by a sniper and then a healer. Like I said, I'm not too far into it yet, but I believe there are even more characters later. Each level takes place in turns, so if you played something like Final Fantasy Tactics or XCOM, you should feel right at home here. Each level feels truly unique, like it was crafted with a lot of care. There are different objectives in each mission, so it's not always just defeat the other team. You'll come across a variety of different enemy types and environmental hazards that change the scope of battles and keep things interesting. In between battles, your characters will level up and unlock new skills and items. There's a good sense of progression here so far, and the developers really didn't want the game to be about grinding. It does feel like if I were just a little bit smarter, I would be just fine. Like there's always a way to complete each level regardless of character stats. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not the brightest tool in the shed when it comes to strategy or puzzle games or life in general. But anyway, I'm really impressed with Soldier so far. The gameplay is challenging, the graphics are adorable, and the music is really catchy as well. I'm excited to dig deeper into this one. Soldier Part 1 comes out on October 24th, but you can download the demo right now. Forgotten Fragments is what I guess I would call a precision puzzle platformer. I was initially offered a free Steam key for this game, but then I went and acted like a jerk to the PR agency, so long story short, I don't think I'll be getting that Steam key. But the developers behind the game seem really nice, and I decided to at least check out the demo. I'll probably be paying full price for it in the near future. This is a 2D platformer that at first glance made me think I was hopping into a Celeste clone. However, aside from some similar thematic vibes, and the fact that you are platforming through quick, fast-paced levels, this game stands apart with some really innovative gameplay. Yes, you are trying to quickly maneuver through levels filled with environmental hazards, and touching any of them will instantly kill you. However, that's not your only goal. Each stage is ultimately a puzzle, and your goal is to find the best way to pick up all of the blue fireballs scattered around the stage and get them into lanterns. You can only hold one fireball at a time, and once you pick it up, you'll need to get it into a lantern quickly or it will burn you up and you'll have to restart the stage. You can aim and throw the balls at any angle, they'll bounce off walls, but if they hit spikes, water, or other hazards, they'll dissipate, and you'll once again have to restart the stage. Yeah, similar to something like Celeste, you will be practicing a lot of trial and error in the game, dying again and again until you succeed. But you know what, it feels really good every time you finish a level, and the momentum of its fast-paced levels kept me going. For my first few minutes in the game, I didn't know if I was gonna like it, but by the end of the demo, I was hooked. In addition to the single-player campaign, there's a fully unique 2-player co-op mode. I didn't have a chance to try it, but it consists of its own levels, which are totally different from the single-player mode. I'd love to try this out with a friend. The game features over 100 levels between the 1 and 2-player modes. Forgotten Fragments is available now on Steam. It's already a budget-priced game, and I definitely recommend playing through the demo to see if it's your cup of tea. Like I say, I'll probably be picking up the full version myself pretty soon, as I love a good 2D platformer and I blasted through the demo in under 20 minutes. So those are some new and upcoming indie games that I highly recommend checking out. Again, links to all of these games can be found in the description. Special thanks to all the devs who reached out and shared their games with me, and thanks to you for watching. I should have some more videos coming out soon, so if you enjoyed this one, consider subscribing. I'll try not to disappear again for another 6 months, but no guarantees. Take care, and I'll see you soon.